Hello class, it's Professor Streeter. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the D2L website, our homepage and the shell for this ethics course. And we'll walk through that together a little bit. In other videos, I will go into more detail about some of the components of the D2L shell and our online platform. I want to start with a brief slideshow. And in this slideshow, the goal will be to think about the weekly tasks for the course, my expectations of you in this class, some of the major assignments, and how to think about each week what we're going to be doing together. And then we'll come back to the website. So I'm going to make myself small here in the corner of the screen. This is the home page for our class, and we'll return to that in this video. Here is the first slide. And I wanted to remind you that this is a philosophy course, and we'll talk about what that means more. But for starters, that means that the goal of this class is not teaching you what to think or what to do. That's not my role. My role is to facilitate a conversation, to get you thinking. So philosophy in this sense is a practice of thinking critically. We can talk more about critical thinking, but thinking critically about how you think and how you act in dialogue with other people. So philosophy is a form of dialogue, and it's a way of engaging critically in thinking about how you think and how you act in your life. So the goal is learning how to become accountable for what you think, accountable for what you do, accountable for your choices. That's the goal of philosophical work. So again, just to make that clear, I'm not here to teach you what to think or what to do, but to provoke you to think about that on your own and to try to become more accountable for your thoughts and your actions. Okay, so how do we do that in a philosophy class? Well, you will learn something that you already know how to do, but hopefully you can refine and get more practice in making arguments and in reading and responding to other people's arguments. We'll talk more about what an argument is, but that's part of the nuts and bolts of a philosophy class, making arguments, responding to other people's arguments, and hopefully you'll become more confident in the way you express your ideas. And the goal then is to learn how to express your ideas more clearly and consistently, both in your writing and in conversation. So that's all part of what I mean by accountability, right? If I can make an argument to defend my beliefs, then I'm more accountable for my beliefs. Or if I can respond to other people's arguments or other people's choices that maybe I disagree with, and show them why I disagree with them and why I think that maybe they should have made a different kind of choice, then I'm striving to make myself more accountable for my beliefs and my choices and my actions, and trying to hold other people accountable for what they say and do. Okay, so that's what I mean by accountability, and that's part of what we'll do in this class. We'll learn about arguments and get in the practice of making them and reading them and analyzing them. Okay, so weekly tasks. I think this helps to picture what you're doing each week. First, reading. A big part of this course is reading. About 50 pages a week, give or take. There is a calendar, a course calendar on D2L, and you can check that for the regular for the reading assignments. If those get updated, you can also look in the weekly content on D2L for the reading assignments. And I'll show you that in a moment. What I mean by reading, and we'll talk more about this, try to read each assignment or each passage twice, right? On the first reading, skim it and get a sense of the overall gist of the argument the author is making. And then on the second reading, take out your notebook, take some notes, break down paragraph by paragraph what you think is going on in the essay. So try to do 2 reads for each for each text that is assigned each week. So that's one part of the part. My expectation is that if you're in this class and you want to engage in this class and develop, it starts with reading and keeping up with the reading. I think you'll find a lot of it very interesting and engaging and challenging, and that's part of our work this semester. The online discussions, the goal of the online discussions is, the purpose is to give you a chance to reflect on what you're reading and express your thoughts about it. First, each Monday, I ask that you post something in the Monday feedback forum. A question, a comment, could be very brief, but just so I can see that you've been thinking over the weekend or on that Monday of the beginning of the week, that you've been thinking about what we've been talking about in class or what we've been reading together. And so the Monday feedback is also my way of gauging where you're at, and you're sharing your thoughts with your classmates. Okay. There's also a weekly discussion forum, and each week I'd like you to post in there, and that's a little bit more involved. There'll be a question that I have there, and you can respond to my question. But I also want to see you respond to what your classmates are saying. So that's a part of the weekly work that we're doing together, reading and then writing in the online discussion about what you're reading, with some focus questions that I share with you. But each week also share some feedback on, by the end of the day on Monday. If you forget and you wake up Tuesday morning, as long as you get some feedback to me early in the week so that I can think about what you're thinking as we move through the week. Homework. Part of the goal here is to see how you can take a passage that you've read and break it down and summarize the argument and reflect on what the author is saying and express that in a short paragraph. And so that's a skill that I hope you get better at over the course of the semester. And most of the homework assignments then will ask you to write paragraph summaries of something that you've read. There will be 7 of those, so it's a 14-week class. So every other week, during even weeks, you will have homework to turn in, paragraph summaries of something that you've read in our books. Those are due on Sunday, and you submit those to the assignment folder on D2L, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay? And then there will also be quizzes. Untimed quizzes, again, not every week. There'll be 7 total quizzes. I will drop the lowest score, just like I will drop the lowest score of homework, okay? But your goal in the quizzes is to work through, let's say, 10 to 15 multiple choice questions that focus in on specific moves that the author is making in the reading. You have a couple chances to take it. It's not timed, it's open book. Again, the quizzes are just designed to focus you on specific passages in the reading. And then finally, the other 2 big components of the course are 2 5-page essays. One will be due in the middle of the semester, and one will be due at the end of the semester. I ask that you submit rough drafts and proposals, and you'll get homework credit for different versions of the essay that you turn in. But then ultimately, your essay grade will be based on the 2 best versions of the essays that you write by the end of the semester. Okay, so here the process is about revision, and I'll talk more about that, but working on a piece of writing over the course of a few weeks and revising it and revising it and revising it to make the best version that you can. And then finally, the exams will be short answer, maybe some multiple choice, short answer, not essay exams. Again, there'll be 2 of them. The midterm will cover the readings from the first half of the semester, and the final exam will cover the readings from the second half of the semester. And all of this will be submitted to the assignment folders on D2L. Because those are the major components of the course and my expectations of you. Just a few tips for success. Again, like I said earlier, take notes when you read. Jot down questions and share those questions in the class cafe, which is an open forum, or the Monday feedback each week, or the weekly discussion, share your questions with the class. And those can be coming out of the notes that you're taking as you're reading. If you have any doubts about what we're doing in a given week, check your Gmail, check your PSE Gmail, look at the D2L announcements, or look at the weekly content section of on D2L. And if you still can't answer the question, then send me an email. That's fine. And then I know this is an online class, but open up, share your ideas on the discussion forum. See this as an opportunity to communicate with your peers, even though you may not meet them in person or see them. Okay. Don't worry about perfection, especially with your essays. If there's a draft that's due, just turn it in, even if you're not happy with it, and get feedback, and then you can make it better. Okay. If you don't turn something in, you can't make it better or get credit for it. So always turn homework in, essays in, even if you're not entirely happy with them. Okay, you'll have an opportunity to make changes to the essay. You'll have an opportunity to improve on your homework assignments after you get feedback. I encourage you, especially since this is a virtual, an internet class, I encourage you to meet with me individually during my office hours, either virtually or on campus. I am on campus this semester. And then try to establish connections with your classmates through, email them, set up virtual group meetings, maybe on Google Meet. The more you connect with your classmates, I think the more you'll get out of this class. We'll come back to the website in the next video. So in the next video, we will talk about the D2L shell, and I'll help you navigate that. But let me just say before the end of this video, I am planning, in addition to inviting you to office hours to meet with me individually on a regular basis, or as much as you feel comfortable doing, I am planning to schedule optional live classes where we work through some specific issues in the readings, or we walk through some of the major assignments together, and we share our ideas together live. Now, these are not required because this is an internet class, but I think you'll get a lot more out of the class if we can meet that way. So I'm going to try that and invite you to come to join me on Google Meet sessions, not during the first couple weeks, but probably starting in week 3, or at the earliest starting in week 2. So just keep that in mind. I'll announce a time and hopefully you can make it. If not, maybe we can do more than one session for those of you who can't make it. Anyway, that's a work in progress, and I will announce that. But that is another way I think that we can connect to each other. The main way each week is through the discussion forum. So by participating in the weekly discussion forum, you're getting that experience of interacting with your fellow students, with me. But I hope we can do that live as well, at least for some of us, if you can make those sessions. Okay, that's all for this video. And in the next video, we'll look at the D2L shell and talk about some of the components of the course. Okay.